Hey guys, welcome back to the Crafted Pearl podcast. My name is Jennifer. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as the Crafted Pearl. And if you want to email me, you can email me at thecraftedpearl@gmail.com. It's great to be back with you guys. It has been a while since I've podcasted. I think my last podcast was probably in February. And I took just a little break. I was needing some time to kind of work on my mental health, my physical health. And so I just took a break from Instagram, took a break from podcasting, took a break from knitting. And now I'm back. My knitting mojo's back, my crochet mojo's back. All of my crafting is more exciting now, and I feel more like myself than I ever have. So I'm happy to be back with you and to podcast with you today. This is probably going to be a short one because I have not done a lot of knitting lately. I have 2 works in progress and some acquisitions from the Arkansas Yarn Crawl. So the first acquisition that I want to show you is a beautiful summer sorrel sweater that was gifted to me by Kristen, Crafty Kristen J of the We Share Needles podcast. We were at the Arkansas Yarn Crawl together and she had this and I tried it on and she said it was made for you and gave it to me. She's so sweet. This is the summer sorrel sweater. And I'm gonna link her Ravelry page, her project page down below so you can get all the details on the size, the yarn, and everything that she used for that. But isn't it beautiful? So pretty. So thank you again, Kristen. I've already worn it again since the crawl. That was one of my main acquisitions I wanted to show you. And I'm gonna start back with whips. And then I will go into acquisitions from the yarn crawl at the end. So my first work in progress is actually the sweater that was supposed to be worn at the Arkansas Yarn Crawl. So each year, Lori and Jess and Anna of Arkansas Yarn Company come together with several of us in the knitting community and choose a sweater to knit and wear on the yarn crawl every year. And we take a picture. Usually the first and second Saturday. So this year, the sweater is the Boxy Chevrons sweater, and I will put the designer's info and all of that down below so you can link to that project page and link to the designer's page if you want to knit this. And so we had a lot going on in my family. I didn't get a chance to finish it. So the day of the picture, I took my barber cords, strung them through the end of the sweater on the car ride over to the store and tried it on for the picture and then put it back on my needles, and I've been working on it ever since. So I'm going to show you the progress that I made. I'm almost finished. I'm on the chevron, what's the right word I'm looking for? Like the trim at the bottom, the bottom of the sweater. So this is in my Birdling Everyday Tote. This was an acquisition from the Yarn Crawl. I love Birdling bags. I have the Birdling backpacker that you've seen before, and I had to get the Everyday Tote while I was there because my friend Jennifer also had one. So this is my progress on the Boxy Chevrons sweater. The sleeve construction was so unique, and it's gonna look even better once I block it out. That kind of give you an idea of what it'll look like blocked out. And I am on the end of the sweater, and that's where there's lots of ribbing. So knit 4, purl 4, that kind of thing, and it ends up making a chevron pattern on the bottom. So I think I have I'm about halfway through the end of it, and then I will bind off and block it, leave in all my ends, and then take some finished object photos. So I've been working on that. The yarn that I'm using for that project is Knit Picks yarn, and this is Knit Picks fingering weight and the Poseidon kettle dye. So it is it's a tonal, but I just love the way the colors just work out, and you can see in the sweater, you don't have to change skeins because it is a commercial yarn. So I didn't have to do helical knitting or anything like that, but I just love the way that the yarn pulls in certain places, and I don't know, it's my favorite. So I don't have the exact colorway on here, which is strange that it doesn't have it on here, but it's this pretty green blue color, and then the same kettle dye in like the gray. So funny story about that sweater. I was working on the sleeves. I started late because I started, I probably started mid-June, and I had a really tight timeline for the sweater. So I was working on the sleeves, and I went to the grocery store, and I get a phone call that my daughter spilled red juice all over my yarn. The yarn that was caked up in my basket, the yarn, the sleeve that I was working on, it was covered in red juice. Thankfully, I have a husband who is used to living with a Yarny person, and immediately went and put it in water and got everything out that he could, but I still have a few little pink spots in there, but that's okay. It's just gonna add character to the sweater, and you really can't tell unless you're just really up close and looking. So I'm going to finish that before the week is over with. My goal is to have that finished before I go to bed on Sunday, so I can block it and then take some finished object photos. My second work in progress is in this adorable bag that I got from Knit Unto Others in Arkadelphia. So it's drawstring. It's very, very deep. You could probably put a small sweater project in here because you have plenty of room at the top. Use drawstring. Folds in. It's this very pretty corduroy fabric. And I will put the maker's name down below and her information of where you can find her. These very pretty leather handles. It's just a really cute bag to carry. My girls like to pretend that it's their purse already. So my second work in progress is a pair of socks for my husband. And these socks I'm actually doing on 9-inch circulars. That's a goal of mine, is to become more comfortable using my 9-inch circular needles. So these are the ChowGoo 9-inch circulars in the US 1 2.25 millimeter. And I'm doing just the Crazy Sock Lady vanilla socks on 9-inch circulars. And this is Night Owl Fibers. And it is the colorway Beats Bears Battlestar Galactica. My husband and I are really big Office fans, and he is a big Dwight Schrute fan. So this was perfect for him. I found this at Arkansas Yarn Co. on the Yarn Crawl, and had to get it for him and immediately cast on a sock. I'm really loving knitting with the 9-inch circulars. I tried it before and my hands really bothered me. But I don't think I was holding them the most ergonomic way that I could. And I think I've found the trick of how my hands can hold the needles and work with them. So the thing I love the most about it is I don't have any ladders, and it's going a lot faster than having to constantly pull through with the magic loop method. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still love magic loop, but I'm really enjoying these. So I have my little progress keeper, my little gnome. I'm obsessed with gnomes, I love them. So that is my second whip. I have lots and lots and lots and lots of whips. Too many to count. So my goal is, when I finish the sweater, is to pick up another work in progress and start trying to finish that away. And then once I finish the sock, I can cast on something new. So my goal is to have one whip and one new cast on going at the same time. I don't do well having 15 different projects in bags because I want to work on everything, and I get so sidetracked, I don't work on anything at all. So I actually have a sweater that's really close to being finished that I'm going to pick up after I finish the boxy chevrons, and just kind of work my way through those whips and allow myself a new cast on as well to kind of appease both sides of my knitting brain. So that's it as far as works in progress go. I spent the last weekend, so the weekend of July 15th, 16th, and 17th, I traveled to Arkansas to visit for the Arkansas Yarn Crawl. This year I traveled by myself. Last year I traveled with my best friend and her sister-in-law, and we got to adventure that together, but they couldn't go this year. So this year I traveled by myself, which was a very nice experience for a mom of 4 to kind of have 6 hours in the car by myself. It was a one-woman concert the whole way, and I loved it. So I got into town. I stayed with Maddie, who's the other half of the We Share Needles podcast. She was so kind to let me spend the night with her at her house on that Thursday, and then on Friday we headed to Arkansas Yarn Co. Spent the day there. I got to see so many people that I met last year throughout the weekend. We were there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then I also got to meet lots of new people. So I'm going to tag several of the accounts for the people that I've met over the weekend. I met Brittany of Loops and Bees. She actually has a crochet subscription box that she has. I don't know if she has it open still or not, but she's just starting off with her business and it's thriving, and I'm so excited for her. So I'll put her Instagram handle down below and all the information on where you can find her. Also got to see Nicky of Avery Creations. I've been following her for a while, but finally got to meet her in person, and she's so sweet. She has amazing patterns. She has amazing hand-dyed yarn, and she got to showcase that yarn at Lori's shop over the weekend, and it was so great to meet her. I also got to see my friend Lindsay of Always Yarn First through the weekend, and I got to see my friend Jana of Jana Loves Starbucks. I'll put her Instagram below, and I made a new friend, my sister from another mister, my other Jen. It's literally like we were separated at birth. So we had the best time laughing and knitting and just sharing memories, making memories, talking about memories from last year. And I would move to Arkansas if I could. My husband is not too keen on that, but I told the girls, I said, I will move up here because we just had so much fun knitting and chatting together. So I'm gonna go through and show you guys the acquisitions that I have from the weekend. So, pardon my reach. Did I even tell you that this is my new craft room, my new studio space? We did finish it. This is the first podcast in the studio space, so hopefully this sounds okay. It's a little echoey up here, but this is my new little podcast corner. I just got the chair and everything set up, so super pumped about that. So on to acquisitions from the Yarn Crawl weekend. So the first thing I want to show you is the bag. This bag is, I had a white one last year. This year it's a really pretty blue. This is the Arkansas Yarn Crawl logo that Lori from Arkansas Yarn Co. designed. And these are all the stores that participated in the Yarn Crawl. I had to visit Arkansas Yarn Co. and Knit Unto Others. This was actually a shirt that I got there last year. And you get little buttons from the store. And it's just a great place to store all of your acquisitions from the weekend. So the first stop we made Saturday morning before going back to Arkansas Yarn Co. was Knit Unto Others. And that's where I got the small bag that I showed you earlier with my sock project in it. And I bought the yarn that I want to use to make a rocket tee. So this is what I purchased at Knit Unto Others. The purple color is Dream and Color yarn in the Smooshy Cashmere. 70% superwash merino, 20% cashmere, and 10% nylon. And let's see, does it have the colorway on it? Let's see. Galaxy. I had to peel the little sticker back. This is Galaxy, so it's a very pretty tonal. You can see a little bit of blue, a little bit of red in there, burgundy, lots of purple, which, you know, purple's my favorite. So I got 2 skeins of that. And then to stripe, I also got the Color by Christy. So this is a local dyer to the Knit Unto Others shop in Arkadelphia. And this is her sparkle sock base, which is 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and 5% stellina. And this is called 80s Skating Party. So I'm an 80s baby, thought this was perfect. So these three all together are going to make my rocket tee. Several people wore rocket tees or have been knitting rocket tees over the weekend, and I just had to find yarn to make one myself. So this will be my rocket tee, and usually the rocket tee has a stripe of mohair and then a stripe of fingering weight yarn. I'm not a huge fan of mohair, so I just went with 2 fingering weights for each, one for each stripe. So I think it's gonna be very pretty. So that was my purchase from Knit Unto Others. And of course, at Lori's, I think I found something every single day that I was there. And I think I can always find something every single day that I'm there. I did buy a few notions. The first thing that I purchased from her is the Acreworks Knitting Toolkit. I've seen these around. Maddie has one, and Kristen has one, I think. But so you have your gauge ruler, so you can measure your gauge swatch. And all of this is magnetic. So turn it over, nothing's gonna come out. She included an Arkansas Yarn Co. Tape measure. So you have little scissors, some needles for weaving in your ends, and some light bulb stitch markers. And then along the edge is a way for you to measure the gauge of your needles if you're not sure if they've rubbed off the sides. So I love that and added that to my notions collection. I also added some stitch markers, the little gnome stitch marker that I showed you earlier. Let's see if I can find the tag for it. I don't. Be right back. So the little gnome stitch marker that I showed you earlier was by Charmed Hooks and Crafts. And I'll put her information down below. So I also got cute Chick-fil-A stitch markers. Lori had several of these at the front. I'm not sure who made these. I will double check with her and put that down below. There were Barbies, strawberry shortcake, Starbucks, all kinds of different ones, but I love the Chick-fil-A ones. I eat at Chick-fil-A any chance I can get. So it came with, let's dump them out. It came with 1, 2, 3, 5 stitch markers. So it came with 3 of the red hearts. It came with, of course, the Chick-fil-A cow and a chicken. It's so cute. I love it so much, and I can't wait to use those on my next project. So on to the yarn, which is what we're all here for. I purchased the colorway that Lori dyed specifically for the yarn crawl this year. She dyes a colorway each year that is specific to the yarn crawl. And this year it was just as good, if not better than last year's. And it is on her Yummy High Twist base, which is my favorite base. So 8515 superwash merino and nylon, 394 yards. And this is called the Dark Side of the Rainbow. Oh, it's so good. Look at all those colors. So, so pretty. I'm not sure what I'm gonna make with that yet. I have to think about it, but I did want to get it because I have to have the colorway for every year. One of the things that we decided while we were there this time was we decided what top we're going to wear next year at the yarn crawl. If you guys know me, I'm gonna need the whole year to get everything ready to go. So we decided that we are going to do the outline tee by Jessie Mae Designs, and I will link that pattern page below if any of you want to knit that with us. And I wanted to do something that I could wear a little bit into the fall, but also in the spring, because here in Alabama, it just doesn't get very cold for maybe a week or so in February, and then it stays pretty warm. So I wanted to do a color that would go with several of like smaller black dresses that I have, the sleeveless white dresses. And Lori got in just in time for the Yarn Crawl Suburban Stitcher yarn. I've always wanted to try the Suburban Stitcher yarn. She does have lots of skeins. Sweaters quantity is still available. If you want to shop online, she can ship those to you. But the Suburban Stitcher in her sock base, and this is in the colorway Frost. So I got 2 skeins of that. And that's going to be my outline tee by Jessie May Designs. And I'm excited that I have a whole year to get ready, and maybe I won't procrastinate and forget to do it. So that's all my acquisitions from the Yarn Crawl. I actually kept myself under control this year. I could have bought a little bit more, but I can always buy more. And the best part about it is Lori ships anywhere that you want. So some dream knitting that I have. I actually overbought my yarn for the boxy chevron sweater. I bought way too much. So another one of the Jessie May Designs that I want to cast on soon is the Flutterbutt set, the top and the shorts. I have enough yarn to do actually both. So I'm excited to make a garment that's not a top or a shawl or anything like that, or hat. So I'm interested to make my first pair of shorts, and really want to cast on that rocket tee next, because I can wear that well into the winter here with the jewel tones and everything in there. They'll be perfect for fall. So that's all I have today, guys. I mean, short, sweet, 20 minutes. Hopefully next time I will have a much longer podcast and some more things to show you. I'm working on my craft room right now, my studio space, getting it set up. My podcast corner was the first thing that I needed to have ready to go. And I'm working my way around the room, getting things put together. So I'm excited to be back with you guys podcasting again. Thank you to everybody who is a returning viewer, and welcome to all of the new viewers that I have. Reach out to me, tell me what you're knitting. Tell me what you're up to. I love communicating with you guys. I check my messages and comments on Instagram. So yeah, let me know what you guys are knitting, crocheting, sewing, all the crafty things. I love all the crafty things. So thank you so much for watching and catching up with me today, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.